Let me push the Pandit issue a little bit more in this Azad Kashmir that we are thinking about. I mean, the hidden agenda, quite apart from the Wahhabis, you wrote in your 2008 piece about the Pakistani flags, the Islamic cast to what was going on in Kashmir, certainly in the 89 to 91 period. That became increasingly evident, and again resurfaced in 2008. It seems to have come down a lot now, but it raises the question: is Kashmir an Azad Kashmir to be an Islamic state in any sense of the term, do you think? And if so, what would be the fate of the Pandits? Would it be a secular state? I should add, by the way, that these high school students that I talked to insisted it would be a secular place. What do you think?
Well, I want to say a couple of things on this. Actually, three things. One is that in Kashmir, Wahhabism is really not a problem. In a way, they are one of the oppressed lot. Because a majority of people are very pluralist, have been influenced by Sufism, follow different sort of lines of Islam, and have Islamic sensibilities, which means that they're not really asking for any Islamic state, which is in itself an oxymoron. There cannot be an Islamic state, and many people are kind of discussing this. There can be Islamic parties within a state, but there cannot be an Islamic state in itself. What would it look like, really? Which state in this world is an Islamic state? It could be a state where Muslims form a majority, and they say that, okay, we are the first-rate citizens, and rest are second-rate citizens. But that's not going to happen in Kashmir. So the second thing is that South Asians really do not understand Hindu-Muslim relations in Kashmir. They begin to see the relations from their own history of communalism. They see 1947, they see Gujarat, they see all these other anti-minority violences in India and in Pakistan. But we have a very different sort of history with Hindus. Kashmiri Pandits were the Pandits, they were the Brahmins. We were the undercaste who converted en masse to Islam. So there was one sort of relationship. It was a caste relationship in a way. The second was a relationship of class. The Hindu minority was during the Dogra rule before 1947. It was embedded within the state structures, which continued even after 1947. Kashmiri Muslims were largely peasantry, landless peasants. And from 1931 onwards, when these political mobilizations began in Kashmir, these were really subaltern struggles for a better education, better rights, equal citizenship. They didn't demand that they are the first citizens. They demanded equal citizenship. And it is fairly well documented in the New Kashmir document, which came out in 1944, one of the very profound, sort of very advanced progressive documents to have come out. It included even right to leisure. And the thing is, and it wanted an independent state of Kashmir and citizenship of all, irrespective of caste, creed, or any other form of identity. It included rights for women and everything. Even it was only like, when did women in France and England start really getting voting rights? In the early part of 20th century. But the point here is that in Kashmir, the history in 1947, when South Asia was burning, Kashmir was the only place where there was no communal violence, when it could have happened. Although the Maharaja, who was a Hindu, who colluded with a lot of right-wing Hindu groups in Jammu and led to a massacre of more than 100,000 Muslims in Jammu, and drove out 500,000 Muslim residents of that region. It did not provoke any reaction in Kashmir Valley. Kashmir was very peaceful. There was no violence between Hindus and Muslims. In 1990, I was there. It happened in '89 when the movement started. A lot of Kashmiri Pandits, unfortunately, were like, India, as you said, it's a brilliant occupation. It works by, dividing communities. It had employed a number of the Hindu Kashmiris into the state structure. So they became the first targets of the militants. Like some of them who were assassinated, and 20th January 1990, when the mass migration of Pandits happened, by that time, 270 people were killed in Kashmir, out of which 201 were Muslims and 69 were Kashmiri Pandits. Over the last 20 years, 219 Kashmiri Pandits have died compared to the. So it's not we cannot talk in terms of this equation of Kashmir as a Hindu-Muslim issue. We understand Kashmiri Pandits. Kashmiri Pandits understand Kashmiri Muslims. You know, Kashmiri Muslims say that they're rushit, which means that they're momentarily, annoyed. Not annoyed. It's not even translatable. You know, it's a Kashmiri way of saying that somebody when they're not talking to you for a while. You know, it's sort of a relationship between husband and wife or lovers. And Indians do not understand it. They think that there's some sort of a genocidal mentality going on in Kashmir, which is not true.